Channel announcement at the end. The Noblic 4K HDMI 1080p high-definition USB video capture card with loop is a generic capture card from China with some bold, if misleading, claims for its price. Priced at £11.59, it's the cheapest capture card with a loop on Amazon. But is it any good? After arriving about 2 weeks from ordering, presumably from China, I open it up to find a micro USB power cable, a USB male-to-male cable, and of course, the capture card itself. One thing to note, however, is that there's no HDMI cable included, which you'll need if you want to use the pass-through. That's understandable considering the price though. At least you get all the other cables you need in the box to use it though, like the power cable and the USB male-to-male cable. Wait a minute, isn't that against the USB specification? Ugh, that's Nintendo with the Switch and a bloody Noblink, the tech company everyone's heard of. So, apparently these cables were never supposed to exist, because with one of them you can plug a host device into another host, or into itself, and this would result in both ports sending power down the cable and frying both computers, I guess. Yeah, I should probably get rid of this. USB-IF, you owe me a favour. I didn't really have any issues setting it up, other than it being my first time using OBS. I originally tried playing off the OBS preview instead of using the pass-through as I couldn't find the cable. However, there was much too much output lag for anything other than casual play, which feels off. I noticed triple jumps in particular were hard to pull off in Super Mario Galaxy, where I had to jump before I could see it touch the ground.
I guess you now have a new excuse for dying in your speedruns even if you're playing off of the pass-through.
Shh, don't tell the viewers that, it totally has minutes of latency. Once I finally found an HDMI cable, the pass-through worked pretty much as expected. I did notice though that when using this, monitors and TVs can't turn on automatically. This might be a general issue with capture cards though, but I couldn't find anything online about it. Once I had it set up, it worked fine, although I did find that I occasionally had to fiddle about with some OBS settings if I unplugged it while it was running. Again, this could be a general issue. These are the settings I used, by the way.
Also, don't make the same mistake he made and try to record to MP4. I heard the OBS creators are still looking for him after that.
Shh, don't tell them. The card supports capturing audio as well. I'm no audiophile, but it sounds perfectly fine to me, so I don't really have any issues with its quality. I have found though that it can often drift out of sync over time. However, this seems to be an OBS issue, and enabling device timestamps fixes it based on my testing. This brings me on to the main complaint I have with this card. You can only record at 1080p 30, which is a shame. However, this isn't too much of an issue considering its price, as you can drop the resolution down to 720p if you need the higher 60 fps. The latency is also a bit of an issue, but as long as you use the pass-through, you should be fine. I did some fairly crude tests with it, and I found that the output latency seems to be around 0.3 seconds, which would explain why it feels off playing off of it. Dropping the resolution down to 720p 60, the latency drops down to about half of it at around 0.15 seconds, which makes sense if you think about it. It can do 720p 60 because for each frame it has slightly less than half the pixels to process. That means it doesn't take as long, which means the latency is lower and the frame rate can be higher. And if you set the resolution to just above 720p, it immediately drops down to 30 fps again, and the latency is probably 0.3 seconds again, which makes sense. Although it could probably technically do a slightly higher resolution at 60 fps, because 720p is slightly less than half the pixels at 1080p. I don't see any options for it though, and the card might not allow it in hardware anyway. So I guess my partial recommendation is a budget card just because of the price. Links in the description, although it's not an affiliate because I'm probably not big enough, but if you want to help with that, you can always click that big red button while you're down there, and maybe give a thumbs up to help grow the channel, as I'm hopefully going to be uploading more often.
Oh no, you're becoming a real YouTuber. Next thing you'll do is bring up the percentage subscribed statistic.
I did that in the last video, don't you remember? Also, I've already said too many statistics in this video.
Oh no, it's happening faster than I thought.
I also did a speedrun of Super Mario Odyssey recorded using this card. It's not a very good run, but it's not bad for a first attempt. You might find it impressive if you're not very good at the game though. Click the card or link in the description, but beware spoilers obviously. I'll also have a shorter version in a montage format down there too once I've finished editing it if you're not into watching whole speedruns. My unedited second attempt is also up if you want to watch it. I've made it unlisted so it hopefully won't hurt my statistics too much. You can find it in my playlist if you like watching whole speedruns. The shorter one is an hour and 50 though, so you should probably only watch it if you think you'll watch a lot of it.
Sell out.
So, quick channel update. I became aware of how cringy my videos were while I made my Minecraft toaster video. After that, I went through loads of different video ideas, but I kept on rejecting them because I thought they weren't interesting enough to make a video on them. I was also busy with revision at the time, which didn't help. And then I was busy with Shadow Ninja for the summer holiday, which has been renamed to Ninja's Tale and is now cancelled for now because of how long it would take to make it. Odyssey speedrunning is probably what inspired me to come back, as I've been finding it interesting and also thought making a review of the capture card I bought for it might be good. Anyway, hopefully I'll be uploading more regularly now. Bye.
Also bye, I guess.